some people, fashion is not very important, but to others, fashion is something that makes them the individual, something that compares them to the crowd. And during the 20s to 30s, people changed their fashion quite frequently to something baggy to something more fitting. I will first talk about dresses and then the two accessories that they were most often worn with, which were hats and shoes. And first, dresses were at the beginning of the 20s were very baggy and the hemlines were a little below the waist. So they weren't very nice looking. But then they were changed to something more like that where the hemline was fitted and there was more figure shown. But legs were still not shown. It was something that you weren't supposed to do. The thing that was most elegant to wear was backless gown dresses, and that was something that you would wear to like a party or movie stars would wear. The colors of the fabric weren't very vibrant. These are pretty colorful, but this would be worn more by the rich or movie star kind of people. The middle dress would be middle class. That'd be something worn by a secretary. And the clothes, the fabric that was made for the dresses had to use more fabric to make the dresses more durable. So they had to spend more money on that. So the next was hats. Hats were always matched your outfit. I've never seen an old movie like made in the 20s to 30s that they've never worn a hat. And they were always worn tilted, like these pictures show. The hat up at the top is called a slouch hat, and it was created by Gilbert Andren, and the one on the bottom is called a clouch hat, which is pretty much the same thing, it's just smaller, and that was worn between 1915 to the 1930s. Hats were usually worn with ribbon or flowers or like they had polka dots on them and stuff. That they're always decorated. And during the summer, they wore straw hats that had like fruit and ribbon on them also. The last and one of the most important accessories were shoes. They changed a lot from the beginning. Used to be very constricting, but then they changed to something more like this they showed like the toes and they're more strappy. In the 1938, platforms were worn, and in 1939, the flat rounded shoe that was sort of looks like this, except it wouldn't have the designs on it and it wouldn't have the shoelaces, but that was the closest I could find to an example. Those were worn more for like the housewives because they were more comfortable to wear. And at the end of the 30s, ankle straps were very popular. That was something that you would wear going out dancing or to a party. And sandals were also very popular to wear with like the straw hats that you go to the beach with. I hope you learned a little bit about fashion and how people, even during hard times during the Depression, they still looked good. Thank you.